connection. I don't know. All right. Yeah, I restarted the video, but I got no audio. All right, so that's going to come down. That's going to get paid $125. You do? What do you hear? You hear my voice? Oh, oh wow. Outstanding. Happy Monday. I didn't do anything. I just unplugged it and plugged it back in again. Holy craps. All right. Well, welcome everybody. Sorry about that. New phone and technical difficulties. The ultimate IT fix. Yep. Unplug it and plug it back in again. Yeah. 314. All right. Knock myself off the 4 there. All right. So we're going to go level 2 on the 4. And that's going to be a $12 VIG. There we go. We're rolling. Yeah, I didn't think I had to pair it. I thought the connection, oh shit, 4 again, really? All right, level 3. 200, $5 VIG. Level 3. Yeah, the table seemed light enough in that video, the new camera. 426. All right, on the 6, so now that's going to be a 750. Start on the 10. How much more do I owe? $18. All right, so I owe another $13. And we're good. On the 6, we're rolling. All right. Really, the image is brighter? Nick, that's funny. Oh, fudge. Are you flipping kidding me? 6410. Wow. All right. Level 4 on the 4. That's going to be a $25 VIG. Oh, I'm starting in the hole big time today. Cool. Thank you, IPTV. And we got a 5.2. We're all through on that one. All right, so that's going to pay me $475. Yeah, it should be 500 because I paid the VIG. All right, so we'll just do that. Actually, we'll take a 500 back. All right. And now we're going to be at level 3. That's a $5 VIG. Level 3. Dr. S already heading to the Lido deck? Yeah, I'm running the Murphy's Law strategy today, yep. Well, anytime you introduce something new, especially a new phone with new everything, it's like, and I didn't test it beforehand. Boxcars. All right, what did I miss? What did I miss? Do you know sign language? No. What happened? All right, blah, 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 blah. All good. All right, okay. All right, so Charles can tell you how I was there for the little birds. I don't think that went too well, and it sounds like they were close to break even maybe on the big birds, and then they made a decision to go keep pressing, which according to Charles was not a great decision based on what happened. But so yeah, I don't know. I don't know what how the little birds ended up overall, because everybody was playing by themselves, whereas the big birds they pool all their money, so it's a little bit different. But I can tell you, all right. So level 3, another 750. All right, so that was going to be another $13 vig for a total of $18, and we'll start back on the 10. I can tell you that at least around me, their racks were going down. I don't know. I was only there for an hour, so they may have recovered. Not sure, but yeah, those sevens, man, you can start spreading that money across. They'll they'll kneecap you. Yeah, Charles said he wasn't too sure about doing the big birds. 6-5, yo, 11, yo. All right, back on the 4 with that 750, level 3. Yeah, and it just killed me. It's like I was watching all the shooters, and I would say 90% of the shooters at the table, and it was a pretty full table, 90% think of themselves as dice influencers. You know, they're manipulating the dice, they're doing their dice sets, but when it hits the back wall, it's totally random every single time, and it was just slowing the game down so much. 617. So it came around to me, and I was putting $2 down on the pass line for the dealers on each new shooter. Now, if that shooter got a 7 or 11 and they won, I did not put another one out. I was only putting $2 out per shooter, regardless of how their roll went. But as the dice was coming around to me for the first time, I asked the dealer, am I gonna be able to shoot with that bet, or are you gonna want a full, minimum bet, which is $5? And she said, no, it has to be $5. So I'm like, all right, well, I just passed it. So I passed the dice. It never got back around to me again, but it was really slow, really slow. Just because everybody was, futzing around with the dice more so than anything else. All right, 356. All right, and that was on the 10, so it should be 375. I'll take the 375. All right, so that was level 3. Now we're going to go back to level 2. But I met a couple of nice guys standing next to me there. Level 2, $5 big. And this is level 1 start, obviously. All right, Charles said, David suggested an exit strategy, but the group agreed to go for broke approach, thinking the bank roll was large enough to support it. Yeah, I don't know the specifics of that. It's like when they do the slot pulls. It's like whoever organizes a slot pull puts their card in. And Linda said it was a little bit different last time on a cruise. But basically, yeah, they arrange the slot pull, and then everybody they pull all the money, but it's their card in the machine where everybody's making the pull, so they're getting all the. Oh, not anymore. Linda said not anymore. This is on the cruise ship. All right, here we go. Where are we at? So what happened? They just no card in there, or no card? Okay, that's fair. And yeah, they shouldn't get all that credit just for organizing it.
It's not like it's that much credit.
Well, I mean, that's a lot of money through. What's up, Midnight? What do we got? 516? You concur? 516. All right, we're at level 2. So that's going to be a $500 lay. We'll start on the 10, and that's going to be a $12 VIG. $12. All right, that can go back in the rack. All right, so that's going to go 500 over there to start with. Okie dokie. And we got a 6.5 Yo 11. Yo. Dr. S. Yeah. I mean, it was a good group. It was a lot of, there was 3 tables worth of little birds. It's quite a few. But I was happy that I was in the hook right there next to the dealer, and we had like, the time I was there, I think there was 2 different dealers. But both times they were able to, once I did it a few times, they were able to figure out what I was trying to do with the back and forth on the 4 and 10 when the point was 6 or 8. Another 11. I didn't move that, did I? Oh boy. That's my problem. I gotta stay agile. Now watch, I'm gonna move right into the 4. Oh well. It's all about randomness. I mean, yeah, as long as everybody agrees to it, then it's not like there's any late game shenanigans going on. Just sucks. Sucks. But they did all right last time. But Charles wasn't there last time. He was there this time. That's no consolation. Hey, Michael. What's going on? Good afternoon. Oh, fudge. 6-4-10. Dang it. All right, level 3. On the 4. And that was an $18 VIG. So that's going to be 7 back. All right, level 3 on the 4. That's a 6-point hit. And the cat hit. All right, so I'm going to take that back down, go back out for my 200. Down. Still at level 3. And that's a $5 VIG. 549. All right. So level 3, that would be $600. On the 9. $20 VIG. Oh, sorry. Sorry, Midnight. You okay, buddy? Oh, wow. 639. Man, not my day in the casino. Holy crap. All right, that was level 3, so now I got to go to level 4. Digging a hole, boss. Digging a hole. Six, odd 6. All right, level 4 is going to be $1,000 again. Let's start on the 10. $25 VIG. All right, got to pay attention to my moving now. Oh, wow, hard 10. Kitty paws. Man, do I even have enough? Yeah, it says I do. All right, so I got to go. Here's 1,000. And I got to go 1,250. Level 5. Big ass hole. That's a big ass hole to climb out of. $31 VIG. Oh, and I missed the 15-minute mark. All right, here we go. 415, horse and buggy. All right, move that to the 10 and then check the leaderboard. Here we go. Who do we got today? We got Old Fart Ron, top dog. And at 1,500, then we got Coffee Land, Aloha. We got 1,100 for Coffee Land. Dr. S, 432, close to his win goal. Nick, 205. Sir Paper, back again, 33 bucks. Charles, 26 bucks to the positive. The Justice Jan, minus 83. Hoku, minus 2,600, right with me, minus 2,600. IPTV, minus 2,800. And Blue Jay Way Kevin already came and went, minus 5K. All right, here we go. Got some bonus action up there. I didn't see Seth in there. Looks like we need the 8 and the 12 for the tall, 3 and 4 for the small. $426, point hit. All right, so I'm going to go back out for my $200. Lay 4. Bring this back. That's going to go back out again. All right, and I already got my 31 in there, so we'll just do the 200 on the lay 4 till we establish a new point. Yeah, there were a lot of short rolls. 5-2, look at that, come out winner. 100 bucks for 5. Well, I need some more nickels. Okay. And repeat. Still at level 5. Yeah, you don't need too many long rolls to be really profitable, but you got to hang in there till those long rolls come and be able to take advantage of them for sure. All right, so 6 is the point, so we're going to be off of this and back out for this on the 10. All right, so that's 1250. see if we can dodge the bullet. Minus 2,500. Oof. Yeah, I mean, and I do believe that there are people that can influence the dice and put them, reduce the probability of whatever it is they're trying to shoot for based on the dice set that they're using. That's a 5-2. All right, so what's that going to pay me? That's going to pay me 593. We'll just call it 600 because I think that's what it should be. All right, and that was level 5. So now we're going to go back to level 4. But, and since I was down at the one wall, I mean, the way I judge whether somebody's truly an influencer or not is how hard their dice hit the back wall. And, they could sit there and take their time and set the dice and have a perfect grip and a perfect throw, perfect release. But when they hit that back wall and they just bounce all over the place, then it's random, 100% random. There's no influence in that whatsoever. And that was what all of them were. They were all either short rolling or hitting the wall with a lot of force. Now, short roll, and that's why they say both dice have to hit the back wall. Short roll, if you can get away with it a number of times, you could potentially influence the dice that way as well. Most of the time when they're short roll, it's not intentional. 314, son of a biscuit. Back to level 5. All right. Can't catch a break today. All right, level 5, there we go, $12.50. That was a $31 VIG. All right, let's see how the 4 treats us. Oh man, that's a big hole. Yeah, well, you say I'm the short roll king, but when you're at a table, there are a lot of short rolls. I don't think my rolls are that much shorter than average, honestly. I mean, they are shorter than average, that's true. But, when you're at a table, you see a lot of them. 549, Nina. You really do. I mean, I would say, what I see on the bubble craps machine is consistent with what I see on my table, which is consistent with what I see when I'm on a physical table. You get a few long rolls, but mostly average to short. Easy doosey, 3 craps. Yeah. Well, it's not that I throw. I mean, I'm throwing totally random. So it's just that what I'm throwing is pretty random. That's all I can say about it. It's consistent with a random roll, which it is. So you could bank on longer rolls, but you're just putting your money at risk. And that was the thing I saw. Oh, I felt really bad. The guy next to me, and his rack was just going down, down. I mean, every time they go out there and do whatever squeeze play or whatever it is they were doing, but they get all the money across and then whack, there's that 7 again. And I didn't roll at all, so I had no bearing on that whatsoever. Just the other people. Two craps. $516, 60 from Dixie. 6-5, yo, 11, yo. Yeah, that's a good loss limit for sure, especially if the table's just really cold. All right, all we need is a 5 for the small, 8 and 12 for the tall. Old Fart Ron says, once I have plenty of profit, I'll play the wait for a shooter version. So what, yeah, that's the thing is, what is a good wait for the shooter version where you can just kind of, you know, tread water, if you will. And then how do you recognize it? To me, that's the other thing is, okay, so, you know, you get that monster roll, 639, where everybody's making money by pressing in and regressing and pressing again. But how do you really know you're in that, in the moment? That's a very difficult thing to determine. It's easy to see it after the fact, but at what point do you jump in and say, oh, this is it, this is a roll, right? Is it after 8 rolls, after average, 9 rolls, because now you're already over average? But, you know, like a rubber band, as you're pulling away from the average, boing, at some point it's going to snap back. So I don't know. It's definitely challenging. How do you make that decision? Yeah, that's it. That's just it, Dr. S. It's easy in the rearview mirror, but without that, very challenging. Because it's easy to see it after the fact, but when you're in it, how do you know? I mean, because all of the rolls start the same way, right? And whether they 7 out on roll number 3 or 4 or 5, or they just keep going. But then for me, I'm just so risk averse that once it gets up there beyond average, then I start going, oh man, now I'm pushing my luck. 617. All right, so that's good. So that should be 6, really should be, was that 1250? So it should be 625. Back to me. All right, so now we're going to try level 4 again. All right, so let's see what happens. Well, we'll just leave it out there for now. All right, so we're off the 4, $200, lay 4. That's the challenge as far as, that's how I see it anyway. How do you know? And that's why I think the regress and press is a good way. Once you're out of the hand, and I think that's key. You know, once you're out of the hand, then you're just basically pressing your profits, right? Still take some, regress a little bit, but press the profits. That way, if you lose it, yeah, you just lost your profits, but you didn't really hurt your principal. 415. Noisy motherfucker. All right. Okay, so we're at level 4, so that's going to be $1,000. No, that's going to be $800. All right, $800 on the 5. All right, what's my vig going to be for $800 lay 5? $26. All right, $26. Oh, good one. Good one, Midnight. You got it. You got the stick. You got the stick. You got it. Oh, I need it. Thank you. Just as Jimmy. Yeah. Gamble with Jimmy. 516. Look at you. Look at you going to get this. Ah, I got you. Oh, what? All right. All right. What's DB saying? Come on, Scott. You're the master of short rolls. You couldn't shoot a. I do roll long rolls. Where have you not been watching? I do roll long. Well, not if my life depended on it. No, because you never know when they're coming. I'm the jinxer. Yeah, okay. There you go. Yeah, and I did feel bad again playing Dark Side, you know, but I didn't say anything. I didn't make any hooping and hollering, and you know, every time they were like, "Oh man, nobody won," and then she's pushing my money over to me, you know. on the felt. So I did, people are superstitious regardless of what I think. So it was, I won't say uncomfortable because it really wasn't uncomfortable, but I don't know. I don't know if I'll do another little bird or not. Just because it's so damn slow. I'd rather just do it on a bubble craps. But, all right, here we go. I mean, there's not a whole lot of camaraderie when most of the people are losing. 3, AC Doocy. And from what I saw, most of them were losing. All right, old fart Ron. But at the start, I play the short roll version. Yeah, that's right. That's why you get out of the hand. That's the smart way to do it. You miss out if that happens to be when the shooter shows up. But after that, I make more. But I'd rather make more consistently from the short rolls. Yeah, no, absolutely. That is 100% smart way to play. Get in and get out. What does the heavy say? Get in, get up, get out. That's his little one of his mini taglines. 538. Get in, get up, get out. Yeah, I mean that's just it. Play the short game. You're not going to be there for the long rolls, but you're not going to get hammered waiting for those long rolls. That's why it's gambling. Yeah, I know. It's still not fun though, but yeah. AC Doocy, but like Dr. S said, I'm not sure about the whole pooling the money, group mentality thing because I just would rather be in control of my own destiny within the realms of probability and variance. Honestly, because I haven't found any strategies that work consistently. That's probably my bias on that one. And a lot of them I don't think are very good, personally. But what the hell I know? Nothing, I know nothing. Like Schultze would say, I know nothing. 6-5, yo 11, yo. I see nothing. Hogan's Heroes. Coffee Land. I play for 5 rolls. That's smart. 2 to 3 rolls is my kryptonite. Five, 3, 8. Easy 8. All right, so we're right at average, right? 8.33 or something like that is average number. So we're right at average right now. So at this point, I would be pulling back. I mean, again, it's an average, which means you're going to see 9, 10, 11, 12s as often as you're going to see 3, 4, 5, and 6. 8, square pair. Oh, we went down to Silverton so I could show Charles and his wife what Silverton looked like, the lodge. They got rid of their roll to win table. They have they have a craps table. So that's the only physical table they have there now is the craps table. They still have their 2 banks of 3 bubble craps, both regular and crapless. And I think those were $3. The table was $10 with all the dealers standing around with their finger up their butts. Nobody playing it. So that was disappointing. That they just put in that bubble. They put in that roll to win. Oh, was it last year sometime? 628. Hadn't been in there very long. And I had seen people playing on it. Actually, they had decent crowds on it. I don't know whether it's just, I think it's probably deemed to be too easily manipulatable. In one of the casinos we were in, it might have been, no, it wasn't that one because there wasn't one there. But one of the casinos we went in, I was showing Charles on the side of it. It said you cannot throw from the two middle stations because, you know, they're so close to the end. If you have any kind of reach or wingspan at all, you could almost just drop the dice. So I'm sure there's people manipulating that, and then that's probably why they get rid of it. They tried adding speed bumps and all the other stuff to the plastic, but two craps, aces in both places. Yeah. I don't think I'm digging myself out of this hole. Just bad at rolling the dice. Yeah, that's not very good at that, I'm afraid. It's a skill I just have not mastered. 516. And I forgot my clear lammers, so I was using the $5 chips as my lammers to segregate in my rack, segregate the different denoms in my rack. And so when I put that last bet out, I'm like, oh, wait a second, I'm already up $50. And then I forgot to take into consideration my $5 chip separators. So I ended up $70 for this session after an hour, which is fine. I was just looking for 10%. 628, easy 8. Damn. Roll 13? What the heck? Just a charlatan, yeah. All right, see you, Nick. To the cage. Good for you. 415. Fudge. That's not a winner. That's a loser. $800. All right, that was level 3. No, that was level 4. So now I got to go back to level 5 again. Yikes, I'm not going to dig myself out of this one today. Not enough. There's not enough time left in the session, and I missed the half-hour mark. All right, well, we'll hold it to the quarter-hour mark. Level 5. Oof. 6-5, yo, 11, yo. AC Doocy, 3 craps. Four, 2, 6, 2x4 lumber number. All right, so we're on the 6 finally, and that's going to be a 12.50, $31, lay 10. Ooh, my rack is really getting naked, man. 10. Wow. Well, that's pretty much the end of my day. What I got left? I got 1,300 left in my rack, so I'm going to go all in on the lay 4, but that is not going to get me back. So that's an all in on the lay 4. And we got a 6-1 on that one. All right, so that's going to come down. We'll go back out on the lay 4 for 200. Still down 3 grand. Whew. All right, off the 6. Here we go. 549, Nina. All right, I'm going to go all in, lay 9. Oh, by the way, great pace. Almost all the other online shooters are slower than a crowded casino. Yeah, that's no good. Good. I like keeping it moving along. Glad you appreciate that. Oh, there we go. That's the end of my day. 639. Oof. As David would say, oof. All right, that's my 5K down. Well, that blows. All right, we're close enough to the 15-minute mark. Let me check that. Yeah, boy, that was not my day. And we'll leave those there. I got to reload for tomorrow anyway. All right, we got Super Miser 420, 3,700 bucks. Coffee Land, 3,500 bucks. Old Fart Ron, 2K. Nick, 870, and to the cage. Irish 78, good afternoon, 828. Charles, plus 822, nice. Dr. S, 557, sitting in Toledo comfortably. Crapshoot Clint, good afternoon, plus 500. The Justice Jen, plus 170, that's a good day. Sir Paper, plus 100. Red Eye, good afternoon, oh, already gone, plus 65. IPTVs, minus 2,400, which is an improvement. Hoku is minus 49.70, that's pretty much not a good day. Blue Jay Way Kevin already came and went for minus 5K, and I got my minus 5K at the bottom. I'm supporting everybody above me. All right, here we go. Well, that sucks. How many rolls? So Carson asks, how many rolls can you roll on average before 7? So when you ask it like that, I'm assuming that you are asking people that have the ability to change random probability. Because random probability says, on average, it's going to be like 8.3 total rolls, and that includes come out 7s on the come out, right? So 8.3 average rolls in a hand before you see a 7. Pure probability is 6, right? There's 6 ways to roll a 7. So every 6 or so rolls on average, you should see a 7. That's the random probability of just the 7. All right, 6 is the point. I don't know if that is what you were asking, but that would be my response. The gator wall doesn't bother me because I switch out the dice for my fixed dice. Can't roll a 7. Then I switch back. Yeah. There you go. That's all you need to do. Problem solved. Alligator wall, no problem. 6-5, yo, 11, yo. Boxcars, midnight, double on the bubble. Brought my water. I'm not even drinking it. Another boxcars, midnight, double on the bubble. All right, we got somebody on the box again. 8 and 10 for the tall. 2, 3, 4, and 5 for the small. Six one, we're all done. So that was 7 rolls, just about average. But that's what you should expect. But again, it's an average, so you're going to see less, so you're going to see more. But on average, over a very long period of time, that's what you should expect. 4, hard 4, ballerina. All right. Three, 2, 5, fever, no field 5. Three, 1, 4, point hit. All right, we're at the 10-minute mark. Dr. S., the law of large numbers works for the casinos. Does not affect everyday players. That's true. We don't see all the rolls. Now we are only looking at a little snippet of the rolls. 6, 6, midnight. No, I mean, and that's why you have winners, right? I mean, if everybody was playing a long game, they'd all be losers because the house edge would just eat it up. So, that's why people can be profitable in the short run because of the variance. Because if nobody was making any money, there wouldn't be anybody at the tables. It's just interesting, even when you're playing bubble craps and you're watching the people come and go and come and go, and some people just sit down for entertainment, like because the one over there at the Orleans is right by the cafe. You see people come over and just sit down and put in a little bit of money and play, and then walk away. 5, 1, 6. But you look at them and you go, do they have a strategy? Do they have a plan? Do they think they can beat the casino? I mean, a lot of them are very serious. A lot of them get very angry when they're losing. They're cursing and banging the machine. Just interesting people watching. But more times than not, when people leave the bubble craps machine, they're not taking tickets with them. Well, whatever. whatever they're putting in, it's staying in the machine. 314. All right, so we need a 2 and a 3 for the small. Yeah, it was funny. So we watched Wrecking Crew the other day, and there was a thing where they stopped at Zippy's to get some food. And I saw a commercial yesterday on TV from Zippy's advertising a Wrecking Crew special meal. So I guess it's whatever they were eating. 437. I want to go get some sushi. No, spam masubi. Spam masubi. I want to get some of that. There's a place right up here on Flamingo and Decatur, Hibachi, something Hibachi, and they supposedly have it. But saw a spam commercial the other day with that, and I think Mrs. Big Money was talking about that, going and getting the spam masubi. I haven't seen a Big Money family in a while. Hope everything's okay with them. Crapshoot Clint. That's why I rarely play. That's why you rarely play Bubble Craps? Why? You think they're losing because Bubble Craps is not legit? I would argue that. 314. I think they're losing because they don't understand what they're playing and they're just picking a bunch of whatever, and House Edge is eating up their money. That would be my opinion. I love Bubble Craps. I think it's just so quick. It says bam, 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 bam. What, every 6 seconds or so you're rolling the dice. Six five, yo, 11, yo, no tipping. And I believe it's very random. I mean, you can have a bad roll and then you blame the machine, but you can have a bad roll on a physical table just as easily. All right, about 5 minutes to go. AC Doocy, 3 craps. My betting does match the, yeah, my betting does match the bubble outcomes. All right, so that's why I'm assuming you said rarely play bubble craps. They, like most, think they can buy in with little money and triple it up. Yeah, right. I think, yeah, that's not a reasonable expectation for sure. I mean, you certainly can get lucky and do it, no doubt, but it's an outlier, not the norm. Yeah, so I guess I don't know what you're saying there, Crapshoot Clint. Your betting matches the bubble outcomes. All right, so that's good. Then why do you rarely play it? Just because you like the social aspect of a real table? Can you elaborate on that? Yeah, I think 10% seems is very, very reasonable and typically doable. Obviously, today for me it wasn't, but you cannot win them all. As long as you win more than you lose, right? All right, we're at roll 5. Clint says, yes, I like the real table. Yeah, there you go. That's certainly a personal preference. You bet. Can totally understand that. Like to have the dice in your hand, tossing, tossing them bones, tossing them bones. All right, this could be the last shooter. Roll 6. Here we go. Yeah, I don't care for the community ones where they have all those individual desks with the chairs, and they have the roulette and the craps and the blackjack and the big wheel. 415. Just too slow. Well, two reasons. Too slow in between because it's like 16 seconds between. And then it wouldn't let me bet on the 5 and 9 the way I wanted to for some reason. I don't know why, but for those two reasons, I don't really care for the stadium seating like that. All right, all we need is a 2 for the small. That would be a nice way to end the session. Let's think. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Come on, snake eyes. 8, square pair. Yeah, this will be the last shooter. Yeah, we got a reasonable distribution. A lot of yos today. Outside number of yos. A little bit light on the 5s and 9s. But generally, a little bit outsized on the 6s as well. Generally a reasonable distribution. 6, 4, 10. Down on the end. Easy 10. Whoop. Whoopsies. All right. Well, I'm glad the microphone decided to start working. That's good. I don't need to do anything for tomorrow. Camera seems good. 314, Little Joe from Kokomo. They postponed the Summerlin Lion Dance or Lunar New Year celebration parade till tonight at 6:30. So I don't know. I stayed up late last night. I'm really tired today, but I would like to see it. So I think we'll head over that way after Crappy Hour. Watch the show. There we go, right on cue. 6-1, we're all done. All right, well, I had a bad day at the casino, but you know what? They can't all be good days, so. Let's see, how did everybody finish up? We got Super Miser 420, ended up at the top, 4,700. Coffee Land, 4,200. Irish, 78, 1,700. That was the top 3. Charles, nice job today, $1,000, nice. Nick, 870 and gone. Dr. S, 557, consistent. The Justice Jen, $200, nice day for her. Sir Paper, sorry. $100, nice. Red Eye had 65. IPTV, not a good day, minus 4,400. Old Fart Ron, minus 4,400. Crapsee Clint, minus 4,700. Hoku, minus 4,900. That was basically a wipeout. Blue Jay Way Kevin had a wipeout, and I had a wipeout. So not a great Monday, but a lot of green out there, so that's good. Happy to see that. Anyway, thank you for stopping by. This is Scott from Paradise Crafts. Have a great rest of your Monday and a great day tomorrow. And hope to see some of you back here for Crappy Hour. Same craps time, same craps channel. You know the drill. All right, there we go. Yes, sir. Thank you, Charles. Have a good evening. You're welcome, Dr. S. Have a good evening. I went for the big finish on that last roll. There you go. You're welcome, old Fart Ron. All right. See you, everybody. Have a good one.